Hey, it's me, Jayan,
And me, Josie.
and welcome to the I'm Gagged podcast.
Our first episode, I can't wait.
Today, we're going to talk about some of our embarrassing moments, right, Josie?
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous because, how are you guys going to react?
Yeah, we do have a lot of them, and this is going to be like an embarrassing episode, and I'm also going to hear really bad PTSD.
Yeah, I'm also missing some. I'm literally thinking and trying to think of this one right now, but I can't think of it.
Well, as we tell them, we'll get like more to our
Yeah,
heads,
it would
too.
have been in a later episode. I'm like, oh.
Just to remember, like 5 episodes ago, I forgot to mention this embarrassing moment.
My lips are so chapped. It's like freezing cold outside.
I'm sorry.
What is it where you are?
What?
How cold is it up?
6 degrees.
Yay! Oh, 8.
Yeah, it's 6 degrees here.
Just a
I
little.
drove to school on the icy roads. It was scary. I was sliding all over the road.
I always
But
do that,
it's okay.
and I'm fine, so I'm a pro.
Good job. Good job.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty good. I was in Los Angeles for my birthday because I turned 16 and got my driver's license. So, I actually have a weekend story. So on Sunday, we were supposed to fly to Los Angeles, but we had a medical emergency on board, so we had to land the plane in Denver. And then our pilot reached his maximum hours, so we had to go stay the night in a hotel in Denver, Colorado. So that was not how I planned on spending my 16th birthday, but it's okay. And then the rest of the weekend, or I guess the rest of this week, I hung out in Los Angeles, went to Universal, Warner Brothers, The Grove. I tried Erewhon for the first time. It was what?
You met two famous people.
Yeah, I did see Scott Patterson, who plays Luke in Gilmore Girls, because he was doing like you know how celebrities do like press releases, Josie, like for their like products.
Yeah.
Apparently, he has a podcast, and he was like doing a press release for like a new company that's coming within the podcast company. And so like we saw him, but we weren't allowed to go up to him or anything. So yeah, after like so I met. I didn't meet him, but I saw him from afar. And then an influencer named Ranielle, I think her name is. Her Instagram handle is my name is Ranielle. She was in the Beechwood Cafe at the same time as me, like in like a corner, like in Harry's booth, like specifically Harry's booth. No, Josie. And I looked over and I was like, wait, is it her? And then I saw in her story that she posted the floor tile of the Beechwood Cafe and her like boots on them. So I was like, oh, that's her. But yeah, I did see her too.
He copied me.
Okay, no, okay, okay.
No, let's talk about that.
Oh my god.
Tony, I went to LA last year just for like because my brother had an event. I know he's famous, so he had an event to go to for Judy Garland. Nobody knows who that is. I don't care. But
What? Everybody knows who
went-
Jody Garland is.
Judy.
Judy.
He's fake. Anyway.
No, I'm an OG Judy Garland fan. I've loved her since I was 2.
My brother is because he got to go to her birthday party. Okay.
Okay, whatever. Continue.
Her perfume release, whatever, for her birthday. Anyways, I went to the Beechwood Cafe because I love Harry. I've been a fan of him since 2020. I know that's like not that big of a deal. Blah blah blah.
No, that's not very OG.
Okay, shut the fuck up. Anyways, I went to the Beechwood before him, and I was like, Harry would be so proud of me in my Instagram caption of me like looking all pretty and stuff. And then you want to know what happened? He goes to California, and of course he goes to the cafe because who wouldn't? And he posts, Harry would be so proud of me. ... And I slide up and I go, you copied me.
Okay. First of all, let me explain that. I was doing celebrities' like favorite things in LA that morning. I went to Phil's Coffee and put Emma Chamberlain would be so proud. So when I went to Beechwood Cafe, I put Harry would be proud. No, ... No, so I put Harry would be proud. And right before that, I went to Phil's Coffee and put Emma Chamberlain would be proud. So it wasn't specifically copying Josie. I said about Emma Chamberlain and everybody else that I saw that day.
Anyways.
And I didn't put so or the ... You're making that up. And I didn't put me. I just said that he would be proud.
Oh, wait, yeah, I did.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, anyways. End of
Anyways, how was
story.
your weekend?
I don't even remember what I did last weekend. I think, I worked one morning. That was the first time I worked in, like, a morning shift in, like, a year. So that was
Wow.
weird. I didn't like that. And it took forever. I like night shifts better because it's like I have time beforehand to like adjust. So I felt
Mm-hmm.
like I couldn't do anything afterwards because it was from 10 o'clock a.m. to like 3:30. Like that's such.
I
So I
like
didn't feel like
5-hour shifts.
yeah, that's what I normally have, but
Oh,
I'm not used to like morning ones.
that makes sense.
And then, anyways, Friday, we were kind of like snowed in. I mean, I went to school. We had to go to school, so. But yeah. And then Sunday, like I literally did nothing.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about some of our most embarrassing moments, and I think that Josie should begin.
Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, me and Jane were on FaceTime, and
Like we are right now.
yeah. And I was like, hey, I don't really know why. Do you remember why I was screen sharing? I think it was just because I wanted to. Like, I saw the button. I was like, let's do it. And so I was like, oh, let me show you. Like, let's see what's on my crush's, like, profile. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Why did I do that? Who knows? And I didn't know when you, like, clicked. When you're screen sharing, I know when you're screen recording, it will tell the person. But I didn't know when you're screen sharing that it will actually notify the person that you're, like, quote unquote screen recording. Because, like, who knows that? Nobody knows that. And so I was like, oh, Jane, let's look. So I was, like, just dilly-dallying on his, like, Snapchat profile. And then I got off, and I start screaming. Not screaming, but I was, like, freaking out. And Jane's like, what? I go, I just, like, screen recorded the person's profile. And he goes, oh, okay. Like, I was freaking out, and I was like, Jane, I'm so embarrassed. Like, what do I do? And he's like, just say sorry or don't say anything at all. And I was like, okay. So I said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't know that, like, I accidentally clicked on your profile. And he's like, okay. I was like, oh. So, and then we went on about our day, but I was so embarrassed, and it's still kind of embarrassing to think about, but.
No, yeah, you were gagged.
I was gagged.
And this was, like, so recent, too. Like, it's, like, crazy.
It was bad, but. Yeah, that's my,
It's okay.
that's my
We all have
first
those
story,
moments.
because that was so recent, so I felt like that was a good start. What about you, Jan?
So the story I'm going to tell is about the time I auditioned for a commercial. And so basically, I really loved acting when I was younger, and I'm sure you've all heard, like, the commercials on, like, the radio and on TV. They're like, hey, do you want to be, like, your favorite Disney Channel stars, like Peyton List and, like, Debbie Ryan and, like, Zendaya? And so we saw this ad. My parents were like, oh my gosh, Jane, you have to do this. Like, you're going to be an actor. So they drove me to this place, like, in really southern Michigan, a really scary mall. And we went in, and I had to, like, do an interview. And then they were like, okay, so this is going to be a master class. And at the end of the master class, you can audition for Board of Agents, and we're going to see if one of them will select you. And so every Sunday, I was at this scary mall in this scary room from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. learning about acting. And, like, they said that Zendaya went through them, but I'm sure there was a loophole somewhere in that, like, state of mind that Zendaya is an alumni. But basically, I did the masterclass. So at the end, I did my audition for an agent, and we had to do a monologue. So I did a monologue from Harry Potter, and it was the one that Neville does in the last movie about, like, them, like, dying and how he's, like, stressing about how he's gonna be the last one alive or whatever. And this lady was like, wow, Jane, like, you are really talented for your age, and, like, we can tell that you'd be a great spot at the agency. So the agency, like, air quote, agency. And so, they sent my mom an email for like a Disney Channel audition. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like I have to audition, like I'll be on Disney Channel. So we went to this studio in like really southern, like really down south Michigan. And we went to this audition, and I had to go in, and I was in like a room, and the premise of the audition was, it turned out that it was a DTE Energy commercial, not a Disney Channel commercial. But basically the premise was that like I had an older brother and his friend, and there was a haunted house behind me, and I had to like get them to realize that there was a haunted house behind me and we were all gonna die. And so somehow that had to do with DT Energy. I'm sure they had like some little like commercially like whatever like way to get that in there. But so like during the audition I was really bad. I was like, guys, like hey, and they followed us around with a camera that wasn't on to like get us like in the mood for when we would be filming. And so it was really embarrassing.
I have like a similar experience that is really embarrassing. About like, I want to say like 4 years ago, 5, like around COVID, there was this audition going around the internet. Like everybody knew, like TikTok was blowing up about it, but I thought I was like so special because I knew about this like audition. And even I think like after I found the audition, Jan even sent it to me. It was like, you should audition, and I was like,
I did.
Should I? And then we like talked about it for a while, or I sent it to you. I don't really remember. It was a while ago.
No, so you already heard about it, and then I sent it to you through like TikTok DMs, and I was like, you need to audition for this movie.
Yeah. And guys, please just keep in mind I was really young. Like I didn't know any better. I don't even think I knew this little detail till a lot later. But it was for like a Hispanic girl that's like was my age. But I think since I saw it was just my age, I thought like, hey, let me try. But I didn't know till like after the audition that I was supposed to actually be like Hispanic, you know? Anyways, so I auditioned. I actually did pretty well. Like for me at least, like for never doing an audition before, I think I did really good. But there was this one like clip they requested from us where we had to run through like trees or something. It was so weird. Like, why would you ask us to do that? I mean, like, it was an action-packed movie. It was for The Mother on Netflix, which I don't think anybody watches it, or if they did, it's like not that good of a movie. I don't know. I haven't watched it. Yeah, they wanted me to play like the younger like version of J-Lo, like her daughter. And so I auditioned. What? Go.
Like, I feel like it'd be hard to make a girl look like J-Lo that easily.
Yeah, but I was like doing this whole thing, and then I had to run. And I think that's my most embarrassing thing because I have a big chest. So when I run, I have to like hold it up while running. And I have the video. If you guys, I'm gonna post it on the Instagram maybe after.
You should on the Instagram story.
Like one of posts, obviously. And it's gonna like I have to like I sped it up. I don't have the original pace one. Anyways, it's of me holding my like chest while running, and it's so embarrassing. But I like now like I just make fun of it. Like I don't really care, obviously. But at the time, I think it was the most embarrassing thing. But yeah.
Well, if you guys don't know who Colleen Ballinger is, exactly. Ew. She's this woman.
I'm gagged.
You are gagged. We're all actually gagging. She's this woman who has been on the internet for literally like my whole life. And she has this character named Miranda Sings, and she's just crazy. I think you have to know who she is at this point, unless you're like living under a rock. But I was the biggest super fan. Like Josie can attest to this. Like I dedicated my life's work at age like 12, 13, 14 to this woman. Like I loved her from ages 6 to 14. For 8 years of my life, I was obsessed with this woman. I like found her even before the Netflix show. Like long before that, I loved her YouTube video. But I was like obsessed. So I had this Twitter account, which was a fan account. You can't find it anymore. I deleted it from the internet. But I would tweet about her every single day, and I would get in like fandom fights because she gets canceled all the time, as you know. Like it's it's an everyday thing for her. So I'd be like, oh my gosh, I gotta defend Colleen like whenever she gets in trouble, and I would like fight with people. And then when I left the fandom, which was like in 8th grade, I was like, sorry guys, I just can't do this fandom anymore for my mental health. And I made like a whole deal about it, and I like left the fandom. But I truly was the leader of the fandom. She like, well, I wasn't the leader, but I was like relevant in the fandom. Like she followed me on that Twitter account, on her main account and her Miranda Sings account, and I even was on a Zoom call with her, and we will put like the picture on the Instagram account. If you guys want to see that, go follow us on Instagram at I'm Gagged Podcast. Um, but yeah, so it was like crazy, and it's really like sickening, and it makes me gag to think about how horrible of a person she was behind the scenes. But I didn't know that at the time because I was so young and I didn't see the
Yeah,
signs.
obviously.
Like,
My brother went through like not the same experience, like obviously, but like he was still a super big fan. We went to our Las Vegas show. I kind of talked about this in our last night's episode where we like tried to record it, but um, at one of the like, it was super like we thought it was funny at the time, but like thinking back to it kind of makes me disgusted. But at the show, like my brother stood up and because everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, him," and she goes, "You with the porno shirt," and it's a shirt like the shirt had Mickey Mouse on it, and I was like, I mean, yeah, you can't really see that, but that's not like. How do you like make that up, on the spot? Like, how's that on your mind, I just think her whole persona is so disgusting. And the thing that we actually used to consume that all the time when we were younger, it makes me gag. Like actually.
yeah, I remember not being allowed to watch her for a hot minute because of like the things that she would say as Miranda. And then like when you would go to her show, like which I went to one of her shows, the Grand Rapids one, like she would always be like, okay, parents, so I'm gonna make some really inappropriate jokes tonight and they'll fly over the kids' heads so you can have something to laugh at, even though like they didn't. Like you
Yeah.
having a whole song called Porn is not going to fly over a kid's head. Like, everyone in the audience is going to know what you're talking about. And then the way that she exposed her fans on stage is really inappropriate. The way that she talked to fans behind the scenes of group chats is inappropriate. I was never in a group chat, but I was on a Zoom call. We can put the picture on our Instagram if you guys want to go look at that. But it's just crazy. I think that YouTube, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that we now have access to that we didn't have
Yeah.
access to before this current age.
Like literally we were talking about the 8 passengers yesterday. Like to think that so many people consume that like when we were younger makes me actually gag, and that's so embarrassing for them, like actually. Like to think that that's like was the norm is disgusting.
And
And
not
again, they're
knowing
like,
that that's not normal.
yeah, and a lot of the things I consumed were from Mormon families. So they had a whole nother whole nother what's it called?
Like, values.
Like value, yeah, values as what I was going through, but I thought it was normal. So I would consume it all the time. And there's still like channels out there, like some that aren't like as like prominent to being Mormon, but like you can tell
Yeah.
because of the way they are, like how they like make their material or whatever, like their videos. Excuse me. Just makes me gag because it's like, how is this okay to like record?
So, like, I just think it's very sickening. Like, the Ballinger family, for example, like, the way that they film their kids, like, doing gymnastics is, like,
Yeah.
it makes me gag how they just post that and make millions of dollars off their kids wearing barely any clothes and just being weird. Like, they're just weird how much money they make off their kids. Like, instead of themselves, like it's just it makes me
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Like Parker, for example, is like doing gymnastics and like they just make so much money off it, and like there's proof like in the comments, and like when you search up like people, like there's proof everywhere, so it's just really like inappropriate and it makes me uncomfortable.
I think that's like also just that whole family makes me really uncomfortable because
Yeah.
like I think their parents just looking at them gross me out. Like not to be rude like that, but like the way they the way they just are all together just makes me mad. If that makes sense, but
I feel like Colleen like started this like internet thing and then they all just like bank off it. Like it's
because
just
don't the parents
weird.
have their own channel too?
No, the parents don't have like they only have Instagram and Twitter.
I thought they used to, and I was like,
I don't
yeah,
know. I
I
don't
don't
think
know. I
so.
just don't like. I just don't like them. So there's still some like there. I don't like really follow them anymore, but every so often their like videos will come up, and I'll be like, oh, I forgot about you guys. But there is this like there are a couple of YouTubers that like they'll actually respect their kids' privacy. Like I don't know why that can't just be normal, you know? Like why do we have to be this like money hungry? Like they're already like millionaires. Like chill out, you know? I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
it's weird. The
annoying.
whole thing is,
It's
it just
embarrassing.
makes me gag. Like now with 8 passengers,
Hmm.
we're seeing how these kids come out of these cases
Yeah.
and how they like come back after that and like what their feelings are.
Hmm. And it's just so sad. Like why do we have to why just why? Like I just don't understand because obviously we saw it led to abuse. That happens to so many families. Like not even like on camera, but you know, like it happens off camera, just the way they interact, you know? So I think that's like, oh, I'm glad you're sitting down. That made me anxious for a bit.
Sorry.
You're good. But
It's really effective and detrimental to the kids to grow up
yeah.
with comments made about them every single day in every
Yeah.
single one
And
of their
just the
moves.
parents eating it up. Anyways, should we
Yeah,
move
and
on
getting
from
money.
that little point
Sure.
back to our
Sure.
embarrassing story? Oh my gosh. Let's go to funny because that was really serious.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about this one time I went to a funeral and wore a colorful dress. I was about like I don't know, 6, 7, 8, whatever, 9. It was somewhere around then. And my great grandma passed away, which is really sad. I was at my dad's house that week. My parents are divorced, so it's like when I was younger, it like was way different for me because obviously I didn't know really what was going on half of the time. And so my mom wasn't like there to dress me that week. And my like siblings said nothing about it. They just kind of left me to like my own devices and just figure it out, you know, on my own. So I didn't know that it was not like a thing to wear colorful dresses. Like I've seen people be like, let's celebrate life and wear colorful things, but I was not like aware that you wear black to a funeral. And so, because normally I wouldn't like focus on that, you know, I was more like my mom would just do it for me and then I would go to the funeral, whatever. And this is like a like sad thing, and I'm like, whatever. It's just girly things. Let's just do this. But I would like, um, so I went to the funeral just in a colorful like flower dress. It was literally flower. I remember had I still have it at my dad's house. It has pink, white, like blue, everything, and I had like a make like a sewn in like necklace. It was so like it was so colorful. And so I showed up to the funeral with this colorful dress. And I remember distinctly this one like at this funeral. It was like obviously a square room like any other room, but it was like really long. And me and my aunt and my sister were all sitting in the back on this bench or whatever on these chairs. And my aunt goes, "Wow, Josie, you're so colorful." And I go, "Yeah, like, don't you like this dress?" And she's like, um, yeah, it's not like
I could totally
black.
imagine little Josie sitting in the back of the funeral and like in bright colors
No,
and
yeah,
walking in.
all like neutral colors in the whole funeral home. Everybody was wearing black. They were all standing like doing the viewing, and it was just me and my aunt and my sister and my siblings.
And you like walking in going, "Hi everybody, I'm
Yeah.
so excited to see me." Like, being
No, I
loud and
wasn't
like
loud. I was respectful. It was a
oh, okay,
funeral because
good,
I
good,
don't
good.
do all that. Yeah, but in other instance, if I was like in middle school, that's what I wouldn't have done that at a funeral though. But like that's how I would have acted. Uh, but yeah, so we were just like, she's like, yeah, I don't think this is the whole conversation. Obviously, it was a while ago, but it was something like this. She's like, yeah, um, you're not wearing black though, like who dressed you? Like I think she literally said that. She's like, who dressed you? And I was like, myself. And I don't really remember the rest of the conversation, but obviously everybody else was wearing black and I was the only colorful one. And nowadays, like me and my like family will be sitting at like the table and my mom will bring up all the time. She's like, remember when you wore a colorful dress to like the funeral? Like why, like, she'll like turn to my siblings and be like, why didn't you guys do anything about it? It's like so funny because it's like so embarrassing because who like shows up to a funeral with pink, white, yellow, orange dress and like just owns it? Like, it don't. It's just
You were so confident
I
too. I'm
was. No, I
gagged.
was. I totally was. Like, I didn't know anything. I literally didn't know what was right and wrong. Like, I just. Oh, it was just a little
Don't you
special.
like this dress?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am. I didn't like say that. I
Yeah.
just didn't know it was like. And I think I wore like a flower crown, or that was to a wedding or something. But I know I wore. It's too much. It's too
Yeah,
much.
it's okay.
But yeah,
It's
that
okay.
is so embarrassing to think about because I'm like, who let me do that? And my
Yeah,
family didn't even say anything, not until I got to like
yeah.
the
They did it
funeral.
on
And
purpose.
my nicer aunt was like, obviously scarred. She actually said something. I don't know how my other aunt, who's not rude, but she likes to say what's on her mind, didn't say anything.
Wow.
I don't know.
Drama. One of my embarrassing moments is from when I was younger too. I was like 7 and I grew up around like the gym setting because my mom worked at a gym and I would work out with my parents at the gym sometimes whenever I felt like it. And so I really wanted to like be healthy because I just wanted to live that life.
So this story
So
is funny, not the like fact that you wanted to be like so
yeah,
fit
but like
at
it's a really
7 years
funny
old.
story.
But
So
yeah.
so there's Cops and Donuts is like a really big like thing in Michigan. Like they have really big donuts and
I've
like they're
never
very
been to
like back of the
one, but I
blue.
always see the advertisements.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna look one up, but you
Yeah.
continue.
So I was like really obstinate about eating healthy. So I walked into this Cops and Donuts, and my mom and my brother were getting donuts, and I go, "Mom, I don't want a donut because that's not healthy." And I like went up to the cash register, and I was like, "Those donuts are so unhealthy, and I'm not eating one because I'm gonna eat carrots later." And I would like walk around the restaurant going, "Donuts are so unhealthy.
My
I don't want one because I'm
God.
trying to eat healthy." Like I told everybody that I was trying to eat healthy and that I wasn't going to get a donut because I was like on my healthy kick that day. And my siblings made me know that it was so wrong of me to do that. And it's so embarrassing that I walked around the restaurant yelling I'm being healthy
Didn't
and
you
I'm not
tell a
eating it.
woman that too? That was just a customer, because
Yes,
I
yes. I
remember.
literally went up to a lady
That's so embarrassing. I'm
and was like,
gagged.
that's so unhealthy. Like, it reminds
Ah,
me of young Sheldon. Like, that's something that he would do. Like, he would totally
yeah,
walk around, like, a donut restaurant and
totally.
be like, that's so unhealthy for you. And then, like, when I got in the car later, my mom told my sister, and my sister was like, how would you feel if we were at a restaurant and, like, we were all eating salad and you were eating fries? Like, how would you feel? And I was like, I
Ooh,
guess I wouldn't feel
fries
good. But,
sounds
like, I didn't
so
know what
good.
was
Fries sounds so good right
true.
now. But anyways,
But I didn't know what was wrong with me saying that at the time because I thought I was just being healthy. So
yeah,
it's really embarrassing. But
so sad, but
yeah.
it's so funny. Um, I think we should do another recent one. Um,
Okay.
so me and Jane about like a year ago, we're both in Florida at the same time. And I think it was around New Year's. It was on New Year's Eve.
It was New Year's
We
Eve.
decided to like hang out because we did it beforehand too. We just decided. Wait, I no, we didn't. I lied about that. But uh, so we met up because we were like, "Oh, this is a great time to meet up." So we went to Disney Springs because we both went to like Disney and stuff. And so we decided to meet up at Disney Springs, and we were like, "Oh, we should go and like just shop around." And we ate at uh
Chicken
Chicken
Guy.
Guy, and it's so good, you guys.
It's so
If you guys
good.
go anywhere at Disney Springs, go to Chicken Guy. Like,
Chicken Guy.
please.
It's the fries and the chicken
Oh my
tenders are so good.
gosh. We need
Love
to go
Chicken
again,
Guy.
like together.
So true.
But anyways, I'm going this spring break, so I'm gonna go get Chicken
Yeah.
Guy. Anyways,
Love
so
Chicken Guy.
we were like walking around, and then we approached the M&M store, and we both went in, obviously. We wanted to make Harry Styles M&Ms. We didn't know that it was not like we weren't supposed to like put celebrities, which is super stupid. Like,
Well, because anybody would do that. Like, I bet so
yeah.
many people like got Taylor Swift M and
No,
M's and
wait,
like
Betsy
just
did. Like, they probably actually got to buy them because
yeah.
stupid workers couldn't confront them about it, probably. Anyways, so we were like at this kiosk making these like M&Ms, and we were putting a photo of Harry, and this woman behind us is like, "You guys can't put Harry on there." And we're like, "Oh, why?" And she goes, "Because like you can't do it without their consent." You go say it.
She goes like, you can DM him and like ask him,
And we
but
were like,
without like proof of his consent.
for real, because we're not gonna. Oh, I forgot I wasn't supposed to swear, guys.
It's okay, I'll bleep you out.
But I'm like, be for real, girl. But she's like, you can try to get his consent. I'm like, girl, be for real. Like nobody's gonna do that. Also, what is he gonna do?
No.
Sue us for putting
Like, and even
his
if we did sell them, he wasn't gonna see it, and neither would his team. And like, we just
Yeah.
wanted to eat them. Like, you're so drama.
Like, we don't want to eat our face. Like, we probably like so like because we had to do something. We weren't just gonna leave without like customized Oreos,
M and
customized
M's.
M&Ms. So we were like, okay, well, we'll just do our face then. Because what else are we gonna do that we're both gonna want to like actually have? So we printed one of our face, and it's the ugliest photo that we had like
It's
together.
okay.
It was from this one time we were hanging out, and we were like, I don't remember. Was it for another podcast we were doing?
No, it
Oh, it
was
was
for our
for.
tour. It was because we went on tour. So it was just kind of embarrassing how we printed M&Ms with our faces on them and then like munched on them.
Yeah, because
Pretty
she wouldn't
embarrassing.
allow us to. I love how when we like went up there for them to make our like thing, it says on the table that we're not allowed to have we're not allowed to have celebrities' faces. I'm like, shut up.
We just
Like
never noticed
actually,
that sign.
like shut up. Anyways, yeah, so that was pretty embarrassing, and it made me gag because she made me gag, and I was mad at her. So yeah.
So talking about celebrities, you all know Joshua Bassett and Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh, do you want to talk about that? I don't.
Yeah. Okay, so Josie and I were like diehard High School Musical, the musical, the series fans.
Yep.
Like, we watched it on Disney Plus like every single day together, and this was right before season 2 came out, like the week of the season 2 premiere. And Joshua Bassett tweeted like, "Oh my gosh, like tag us in Zoom links of you watching season 1, and we'll surprise you and join your Zoom call with my teddy bear." So of course Josie and I were like freaking out, and I made a Canva graphic with the meeting ID and the password, and we kept tweeting the entire cast over and over like millions.
Like over 30 times, like actually,
Yeah.
like I counted it yesterday. Yeah.
We tweeted them so many times trying to get them to join our Zoom call, and of course they never did. Like
Yeah.
they but This random girl from probably like Washington or like Minnesota is probably where she lives.
What? That's so random. But yeah, okay.
Exactly, because she's random. She changed her name to Julia Lester, who plays Ashlyn on the show. And she requested to join our Zoom meetings. We're like, oh my gosh, like Julia Lester is joining our Zoom call. And she joins and she's like, hi guys. We're like, oh.
Like, yeah, we weren't that gullible to be like, oh my god, it's actually like true.
But we did believe it for like 2
Yeah.
seconds. And then you're like, oh, it's
Like
not
my
actually
heart
her.
jumped. So that made me gag because I'm like, she made me gag. Like the
It was
same thing
really embarrassing for
that happened at the
us.
Eminem store. They both made me gag at the same time. But yeah, don't do that, guys. That's not nice. If we're
No.
like, if what if that happened to you? Wouldn't you be upset? Yeah. So
And then I removed her from the meeting and it was like, move.
yeah, and then we sat and waited for the actual test. So we used to have a YouTube channel together, and we would post. We used to post. Well, I did, and he did for a
Uh,
while of
yeah.
makeup videos, but I feel like I did the most of them.
You did more makeup than I did.
Yeah, and then you just started posting random stuff, which is okay.
Yeah, I just started posting story times and
Yeah,
like I don't cooking
because you didn't
videos, random.
care. And
No.
then, so anyways, that was fine because then we are like, let's just change it. We don't feel like when I was not good at makeup at all, so I don't really know why I thought it was a good idea. At the time,
So we
yeah,
rebranded to Josie and Jan.
there's a whole story about why we made the YouTube channel, but I don't feel like getting into it because I'm like, it's not that important. And anyways, so um, oh yeah, so we did videos for a good amount of time. Like actually, we were really good at like consistently posting. Especially Jay, and I think he consistently posts more than I
I
did.
did.
And well, he did.
I did it the whole summer.
And um, I got really lazy at the very end, and I was like, oh, I just don't know if this is really what I want to do anymore. Because we were really good, but we wouldn't get like really that many views. Not that that's like a bad thing,
Mm-hmm.
but for what we were doing, like we were literally like stuck in quarantine, just trying. I was trying to think of video ideas, and I just couldn't. And there was really no use to it for me anymore. And Jake kept doing it, like that was totally fine, but I just kind of
I did.
lost the spark, you know. But in the middle of our like YouTube channel, we we got an email on our business like email saying asking us if we could like promote their like nails or something. What was it?
They're acrylic
Like
nails, like they're press
yeah,
on nails.
and you're like, oh my gosh,
We got a
we get
brand
a fan
deal.
deal. No, I literally thought it was real. I thought it was amazing. Uh, but it wasn't real. So I don't really know. Did we even ever respond to them? I feel like we probably did because
I think we
we were that
did.
gullible about it. We were like, oh my god, oh my god. It was 2020. We were young. We didn't know what was going
It
on
was.
with the world. Well, we did. I remember posting this one video
It's okay.
during like COVID, and it was like 2020 or something like that. I don't really
You
remember.
did.
Yeah.
2020 is
Hmm.
disappointing.
I mean, that's a pretty good.
No, it was called 2020 Needs a Change.
Yeah. And it was like actually really good. I think it was really good, but anyways.
It was a montage, yeah.
But yeah, so that never actually happened. We just thought it would, which is really sad. We were
It's
just
okay.
little kids. We didn't know. We didn't know.
Just little kids.
But that's kind of embarrassing. Well, it is embarrassing because we believed it. We believed it was a thing. But
Hmm.
what else do we have? Do you have any more stories?
I think that's all of our embarrassing stories.
I guess we'll leave it here. We don't have a set date for whenever we post, so just join us whenever we can.
Whenever we feel like
Yeah.
it.
I'm so excited to hear you guys and for our future episodes, and I hope you guys tune in because it's really fun to create these. Do you have anything to
Hmm.
say?
follow at I'm Gagged Podcast on
Instagram.
Instagram.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah, this was
And we
fun.
can't wait to hear again from you guys. I don't know why I said it like that, but can't wait to join you guys again for our FaceTime calls.
I'm Gagged Podcast is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify under I'm Gagged.
So follow us and tune in.
I'm gagged.